Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Under Further Review with me, Noel Granada. In these segments, I'll be giving you a quick look at each team going into the 2013 season. I'll be talking about last season, the off-season, my favorite picks from the draft, player positions, and can they make the playoffs. Today on my board, I have the Atlanta Falcons, the division champs from the NFC South division. So let's quickly look at what happened last year. Finished 14-4. They lost a playoff game against the 49ers in a very heartbreaking fashion. Matt Ryan arguably had his best season as a Falcon, and it looked like the end for Tony Gonzalez, but he's coming back for one more run. And finally, the offense finished ranked 8th in the league, while the defense finished 24th, which I thought was very disappointing, but ranked 5th in points allowing an average of 18.7 points a game. So defense needs to improve probably this year. The off-season. Well, the Falcons go into the season as one of the clear favorites to probably go back to the NFC title game again this year. So, I mean, seriously, they were only 10 yards away from making a trip to the Super Bowl from last year. So, that would drive me crazy as a Packers fan. So, that hasn't happened recently. But, anyways, they look to be coming back strong again. And first, they have Tony Gonzalez coming back, which I really like. He's going to try to give it his last run at the Super Bowl, which I think is good for him. I've always liked Gonzalez for his ability to just be a playmaker, so that's cool. They let Michael Turner go this offseason, but they really got a nice pickup in Steven Jackson, who is just going to be a monster, I think, this year. They also added Osi Umenyiora to replace John Abram to help on the defense that didn't really perform well last season, and it showed against the 49ers in the playoffs. I think the biggest concern for the Falcons this year is whether or not the two rookies they drafted in this year on the defense to play the corners can be productive for them. So hopefully they're ready to go at the start of the season. My favorite picks from the draft. Now, I only liked one pick from Atlanta that they made from their draft this year. I think they had a decent draft, but my favorite pick goes to Camille Ashmiel from Central Florida. This guy has sleeper written all over him. He's a sure tackler, gives maximum effort all the time. He's a little slow, but I see a huge upside for this guy who can add some really good depth and physicality to this defense. Positions. Quarterback. Matt Ryan obviously had his best season last year, so as he threw for like 4,719 yards and 32 touchdowns. The thing I really liked about Matt Ryan last year is his ability to win. I mean, this guy already has 5 winning seasons with 2 NFC South titles. So this guy can get it done. I mean, he's been really awesome. So to see this guy transition into his career as one of the best last year and to be one of the most accurate QBs in the league, I can't help but thinking this guy is in for another big year. So his backups this year will be Sean Renfree and Dominique Davis. So, but that he should be fine this year, and hopefully the injury bug doesn't bite him. Running back. Steven Jackson comes in to replace Michael Turner in the running game. Jackson, as we know, has been really productive for the Rams, but I don't see that really stopping this year with him. So I think there's a little bit of concern with his injuries that could possibly come up with him, but he's just going to be a huge help to the rushing game, which ranked a poor 29th in the division. So I think he's going to really step things up. Brady Ewing should be back from a nasty injury from his knee. Jacquizz Rodgers could expand his role and his carries behind Jackson. So a lot of positives are happening right here. Wide receivers. Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez. This trio is really dangerous, period. I mean, do I really need to say anything else other than this corp is just ridiculously good? This group is really fun to watch too, so maybe Harry Douglas could step up his game a bit to make this wide receivers unit even more dangerous. Offensive line. Losing Tyson Clabo will hurt, really, I think, but there's also really big issues at right guard. Garrett Reynolds seems to be the guy, but he's had injury issues, and so he'll battle Philip Keith Manley. Kind of a weird first name right there. They need to get this fixed pronto, though. I mean, the center and left side seem to be fine, but the right side will be really going haywire if they don't get this fixed. So that's a big concern going into this year. Defensive line. Well, this line takes a big blow with losing John Abram, who was by far their best rusher. I guess we'll see how Osi Umenyiora utilizes himself and how he plays out. So, because he hasn't been really productive for the last 2 seasons when he was with the Giants. So, we'll see how that goes. Jonathan Babineau and Corey Peters are solid tackles at the defensive tackle spot, and Cliff Matthews could start on the other side opposite of Umenyiora. So we'll see how this experiment kind of works out this year. Linebackers. This sturdy group of linebackers with Sean Witherspoon, Akeem Dent, and Stephen Nicholas need to play better this year. Playoff time, they could not stop anything. I mean, they couldn't help stop the run and had too many problems with coverage with tight ends, especially. So they're giving up, 100 yards per game on the rush last year. So that needs to improve with these really good linebackers vastly, so this defense can win some games without having to have a shootout at the very end. I like, having the players, but they just need to step up more, like I've said. Secondary. Talk about rebuilding in the secondary. Not only did they take 2 corners with their first 2 draft picks, Desmond Trufant and Robert Alford, they also picked up 2 safeties with Kamal Ishmael and Zeke Mota. So the only real experienced guy they have is Asante Samuel, who will likely start at safety and help these young rookies par out well in the NFL. This is going to be a very interesting project and how this will turn out in the secondary. So, they were ranked 23rd last year. I don't know how to feel about these guys just yet. Special teams. Matt Bryant was pretty solid last year, and so did punter Matt Bosher. So the real hit is at this returner position, as Eric Weems is gone now. So who will step up as the next big returner for the Falcons? Can they make the playoffs? I'm going to have to say yes, and here's why. First of all, out of the past 5 seasons so far, they've made the playoff 4 times. And they're getting some good consistency out of their star, Matt Ryan, which I think he can deliver with a deadly wide receiving group, with Julio Jones, Roddy White, and Tony Gonzalez, who's coming back. I mean, the only thing holding them back, obviously, that I'm unsure of is the defense. The defense last year really proved to me that they need to get things fixed on for this year. So, lots of young rookies in the secondary and inconsistent play from the linebackers, that needs to get fixed. But ultimately, I still can't see this team not earning a playoff spot. So, I mean, this team was 2 quarters away from a Super Bowl, and this team, to me, just seems motivated enough to make it back to the playoffs for some more juice here. So I don't think winning the division will be easy, though. With a rising team in Tampa Bay and the Saints looking to be back on top with Sean Payton, and obviously, of course, Carolina, who lost 10 games by 7 points last year. So that's going to be a really, really, really tough division for Atlanta to be on top of again this year. But I have been seeing a lot of good things with them lately, coming out of Atlanta. So I expect the same success to continue for them as they are trying to make another run at a Super Bowl. And with that, football fans, ends my segment on the Atlanta Falcons. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any comments below, down in the box, and subscribe to my page, which is left or right of here. The next team I'll be taking on will be the Carolina Panthers. So I will see you later, football fans. Football season is right around the corner, and I'm trying to get these videos done as fast as I can. See you later.